Welcome back to Professor Layton and Pandora's box. So let's check the story so far.
I love my new Skype recorder.
Layton and Luke board the Molentary Express, hoping to learn what... The extravagance of the train known as a cruise ship on rails astounds them. Surrounded by the luxury of the Molentary Express, the pair begin their investigation. So yeah, let's investigate the train.
Yes.
Pedro, is your mic...
pies?
What?
Look at that, Luke.
Is your mic connected? You sound a bit like how you normally did without your mic.
Well, then that's the fault of Skype, because I'm using my new mic.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Oops, so they are. Oh, need to get into character.
You should put your things away before we start exploring the train.
Let me guess, this is gonna lead into a tutorial about the trunk again, isn't it?
No, actually.
Oh, no, a puzzle.
Luke's belongings are all over the place and need to be packed away in his trunk. Use the stylus to move objects into the trunk, making sure that none of them overlap. When everything has been placed neatly into the trunk, touch submit.
Professor, I really don't think putting away my things warrants a puzzle.
Well,
No, we're gonna play Tetris here for a bit.
Actually, trust me. Packing a bag with a lot of things, trust me, it's kind of a puzzle in and of itself. So, it actually...
a true gentleman always keeps his stuff well organized.
True.
Very
Speaking
true.
of Tetris, Professor, have you heard about that Tetris movie coming out?
What's Tetris?
Oh, it's apparently this game involving blocks. And apparently it's going to be a movie.
That sounds,
if you're gonna make a movie about a puzzle game with blocks, why not just make a Kefir movie? That just...
Because Atlas, I guess, isn't in a giving mood with their movie rights.
Whatever.
Piece of cake!
In fact, I wonder if maybe that's why the movie was made.
cake.
Good work. Luke should be able to close the trunk properly now.
I can't see the puzzle merit in it, but there's just a joke that could be made.
Phew, it was a tight squeeze. Everything's finally backed away.
We were in rather a hurry, so I suppose you didn't really have time to pack properly.
Tell me about it. I mean, with the other 5 rushing us all over the place, getting us ready for the next game as well. I do feel better with everything put away. Come on, Professor, let's do some exploring.
But Luke, I'm the leader here. I tell you what to do, not you tell me.
Not for this story,
Leave him alone, he's enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Remember, Luke, we're here to find the Elysian box, so don't get too sidetracked.
Don't you mean the Pandora's box, as the title puts it?
What
How unfittingly.
Well,
Although I really prefer the American name.
the actual name of the box is the Illusion box. It's just that the characters nicknamed it Pandora's box, you know, because of the...
I know, Pedro. I was making a joke.
Alright then.
Yay, the Molentary Express.
Alright.
Oh,
Hello. Oh, and did you notice how when I tapped on that girl, the exclamation point didn't appear?
yeah.
Well, this is a new added improvement from Curious Village. Whereas in Curious Village, every time we talk to someone, the exclamation point appeared. Now, every time we talk to someone and it's not going to be a puzzle, we don't get the exclamation point. The exclamation point only appears when there's going to be when they're going to ask us to solve a puzzle. So
I guess it makes sense story-wise as well, since we're not in a village completely geared for specific reasons. Because in Curious Village, practically everyone gave you puzzles. I guess it does make sort of sense since they were robots, so they might have been programmed for that.
they were testing you to see if you were smart enough to climb the tower and eventually find Flora. So that was kind of the fun.
Hey, I wonder if that was intentional, since Level 5 knew it was going to be their first game, so they actually wanted to give a story legitimate reason.
Won't be, character. If our young friend is correctly informed, there must be a set of deluxe rooms in the next carriage.
Well, Professor, if puzzles are currency, shouldn't you be rich enough to enter?
No.
Wow, I'd love to see what those look like.
They're disappointing, Luke. They're a tip.
Come to think of it, since I have such a rich father, shouldn't I be able to get in there?
No, because your father hates you.
No, he doesn't. He just...
We'll get to that in Inspector's call.
I wonder what kind of luxuries there are in that carriage.
Hold it right there, man.
Who are you, Sir Elvis Presley?
Hello, Professor.
Sammy Thunder says entrance to this carriage for VIPs only, capiche?
Capiche?
Now I know you'd like a sneak peek, but the whole carriage has been booked, so that's a no-go.
The people who reserve rooms in this carriage must be super rich mega tycoons.
Yes, very true.
Like your family.
Indeed. I wonder what it must be like to have that much space to yourself on a train of this caliber.
Well, my father says... well, for now, I suppose you'll just have to keep wondering, eh, Professor?
Was there something you were trying to tell me, Luke?
Well, it's that I actually have been on one of those because my father, as we've established in the prequel trilogy, is super duper rich.
But the person voicing me now hasn't played or seen the prequel trilogy.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure
voice acting.
Christopher Miller-
Voice acting.
Oh, right.
I do hope my darling boy will be pleased. That reminds me, I believe it's dinner time for my sweet baby. I'm off to visit the dining car.
Is that a man
I
trying
am.
to sound like
Yeah,
a...
I'm pretty sure that's a bloke.
So this is Babette. She's kind of gonna she's gonna be involved in the mystery we're gonna be solving in this train.
Great.
Quite. This train
Yeah.
is full of many well-heeled patrons like the woman we just met. Or was that a man? I have no clue. We must watch our deeds and words here. A formal setting demands formal manners, don't you think? Mind you, I'm
Like
kind of formal anyway, so...
Like Layton would ever run the risk of talking out of turn.
Yes, no shit. Oh, sorry.
Oh! Yeah, no, Dwibs. The way you're sort of doing that matches up Christopher Miller's... Well, you've all seen that video where Christopher Miller pretty much lets loose and he takes requests for what he would say as Layton.
Yeah. I'm really sorry, sir. I'm afraid all the seats in our flight establishment are taken right now.
What a pity.
Indeed it is, sir.
So I'll steal yours. Joink!
But while you're waiting for a table, may I interest you in a puzzle?
Professor, it's a robot from Curious Village!
Luke, I remember the law that was established. Robots are outlawed now.
For a couple sit in a crowded
he
dining
must be
car. All
But he
then-
must be a robot if he's really asking us a puzzle needlessly like this. He doesn't even know who we are.
Yes, Luke, that logic it works so well. Like the time when you tried to pull that guy's face off earlier.
Well, what for I knew, he could have been Don Pyle again.
Was he?
Keep it safe.
Was he?
Oh.
Well, shut up then.
Anyway,
Solve the puzzle.
Yes.
Four couples sit in a crowded dining car. All diners are sitting next to across from their partners. And then we have the mustachioed Mr. O'Connor is B, since both C and F are men. His wife has to be A. I'm gonna assume the audience has read this while you guys were talking, and you know. The Jonases are both sitting by the aisle, which means they must be sitting opposite to each other.
Don't you mean the Joneses instead of Jonases?
Jonases, whatever. It doesn't matter. Where's Mr. Lambert in all this? We know A and B are the O'Connors, so the people sitting opposite them must be a couple. But they can't be the Lamberts because the Lamberts have to be sitting opposite each other. So yeah, this is just like, so yeah, once again, this is a deduction puzzle. You know, basically take information you have and deduct to find out who is sitting where. Or in this case, we have to find Mrs. Hadley. And
Christ, you can't draw a circle.
again, trying to use the mouse, even though I'm used. Well, actually, no. In that particular time, it was because I was circling
Consider
the E
this
and
puzzle
not the actual person. So.
And this is why touchscreen laptops are
there we
such a
have it.
blessing for me.
Well, for that matter, I might as well just play on my DS because, you know, this game is specifically designed for that, so whatever.
Well, normally we would, except we don't have DS recorders, do we?
No, it's a shame.
Because they're costly.
And in Europe, we can't even get them at all. So
Actually, no.
Really?
Actually, on eBay, I did find once a European 3DS with a 3DS capture on eBay, so
I bet it cost a lot of money.
it did. That's exactly right, sirs. This is nothing that's the appetite like a puzzle. Oh, it appears the table has just become available.
How convenient.
Allow me just a moment to tidy it up, and then I'll be happy to escort you to your seats.
Oh, sorry, Luke. There's no seat for you.
Great, I'm starving. I don't care if there's a seat. I'll stand as I eat.
It's Luke. Manners, remember?
There's
Oh,
nothing in the
good.
gentleman handbook
Our
that
table is
doesn't say
finally
anything about a
ready.
gentleman
We'll
eating
just-
while standing.
We'll just be taking our seats then. Madame, please wait just a moment. In truth, these passengers have been waiting long.
Hey, Sheroy, Pedro's pulling an Ashley Ball.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Nonsense! We're not a word of this. You take these people before us. We are insulted.
Well, we did come to him before you.
Lady, please calm down.
I do apologize,
Have to
madam.
wait your turn, ma'am.
It's simply that
A
these
true
gentlemen
gentleman
arrived first.
acknowledges the rules of arriving first and on time.
But I'm not a gentleman.
It's only ladies first when you appear on time, madam.
Now out of our way,
No, really, Babbitt.
madam.
Wow, if this is a supposed high class of society,
I hate seeing
UK
the low
screwed.
classes, like.
Talk about pushy.
Indeed.
Well, level 5, I thought British were supposed to be all polite.
No, British gentlemen, not British ladies, not British rich ladies apparently.
So the
True.
ladies are absolute.
Okay then.
Well, then again, this may just be an isolated case. So let's.
Hey, I'll make the joke when I can, but yeah.
Please feel free to relax there for a few minutes while I prepare a new table for you.
Although being kept up.
Maintaining one's composure while dealing with difficult customers is truly admirable.
You do it all the time.
Yes, like Luke. Come,
You kept your composure when a giant robot was about to crush you, you know.
let's give him some breathing room. We'll take a look at the deck and return to whatever later.
Sorry, that's another prequel trilogy reference.
The professor and Luke decide to visit the train's observation deck.
Yes, oh Luke, what's that over there?
But before we do that, let's go into the kitchen.
Wow, just look at all the stuff there is to eat.
Now, Luke, all this stuff is for me. Yes, it seems that the Molentary Express is a first-class operation, right down to the kitchen.
Now, Layton, you remember what Father said if you've mistreated me.
Actually, never said that, but...
Good job, Luke.
Oh my, passengers in the kitchen. I'm sorry, but we just can't have that. And yes, his name is Macaroon.
I know he didn't say it, I'm just adding a bit of extra commentating character to it. Like, imagine if his father's in reality a mob boss.
For, the- for,
Close,
for,
happy day.
for those that don't know, macaroon is a European word for a kind of pasta.
Fitting, seeing as how we call it macaroni over here.
Remember back in our Time Eternity playthrough where there was a macaroon as a natural healing item?
I know.
And Teo got all upset because macaroon is an Italian word.
To be fair, Time and Eternity was using Italian, Portuguese,
your point.
all forms of European words just for the sake of it, it seemed like.
Yeah, whereas this
Terribly
one...
sorry for the intrusion.
Whereas in here it makes more sense because we're actually in Europe.
Well, I guess it was sort of Europe.
To us, a macaroon is actually a snack.
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah.
like a little biscuit type thing.
Well, I'm pretty sure since he's a cook,
Cool.
I'm
It
guessing...
comes from France, I believe.
Huh.
Oh, look! There's a hamster in the kitchen.
Wow, that has got to be one of the most unexercised hamsters I've ever seen.
The cook has been keeping a pet in the kitchen.
Dude, that's my line.
How arrogant of him to lecture other people about germs. A true gentleman would never be
Oh,
so
boy.
hypocritic.
I guess the cat's out of the bag now. Or should I say the hamster?
You are
Call the
a
health
bastard.
inspector!
Listen, I know it's against the rules to keep a pet in the kitchen.
A rodent of all things. What do you think this is, Ratatouille?
He's my only friend, see. For you or not, he's the only creature I've got to talk to in here.
Wow, that is
Right,
incredibly
certainly
sad.
Generously proportioned, isn't he?
I love how Layton always avoids, saying something like fat or something, and he just says like.
Yeah, but he's a gentleman.
Remember back in
Yeah.
Curious Village, where when it comes to Pervali, he was all like, "You seem kind of how was it? Directionally challenged, geologically challenged for an explorer."
Seeing this this just makes me want to see how Layton would react to all the witnesses and/or murderers.
Well, we
who
get
take the
well,
stand
we,
in the Professor Layton.
we get to see that in the
in the
first case.
Eternity universe.
Well, we get to
Why
see
just-
some of that in the first case of crossover.
Well, let me echo extra characters like you might go like say April May or Furio Tigre or Luke or
Luke, can I put my arms down now, please? I'm getting carpal tunnel.
Sure, go ahead. Oh, that's right. Your model won't let you.
Help! I'm stuck.
You mean you want us to take care of him and help him get into shape? Sounds like a great idea for me. I mean, what do you think, Professor? Can we please keep him for a bit?
Well, I've always said that helping rodents in need is among the duties of every true gentleman.
Basically,
Professor.
basically everything is among the duties of every true gentleman.
And also, I
Professor.
can't unfold my arms.
Oh, Professor, next you'll be having us save the galaxy from Galactus because
We'd be happy
it's
to
what a
take
true
custody of
gentleman
this
would do.
house until he said some stuff.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a real weight off my shoulders. And off his waist, hopefully. So yeah, basically this is we now have the hamster minigame. Basically, we're supposed to make him exercise so he can lose weight. And of course, it's done through a puzzle.
Charming.
A kind of
I
puzzle.
still think that the best minigame there has been in a Layton game is the one in Spectres in the last
the
Spectre.
one in Spectre's Call where you have to...
Well, it's actually sort of, well, I mean, it's not even really a minigame, it's sort of like a game in and of itself.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, though. It's sort of exclusive
Yeah,
to the US
that, yeah, like London Life. No, but when it comes to the actual...
Macaroons are furry.
Well, when
You'll
it-
see what I mean.
When it comes to the actual puzzle minigames, my favorite is probably the one in Spectre's Call where you have to build some
I wonder what you're going to call the hamster.
train tracks.
Oh, that's a macaroon. So a macaroon looks like a donut.
I'm gonna call him a specific name that I'm
They're
guessing...
very tiny.
I'm gonna make
It's like-
I'm gonna make a specific reference that I'm guessing Dribs will get.
Yeah, okay. Let's find out.
Macaroons are like very colourful Oreos.
Santaran?
Wow.
Oh.
Spectre Knight? No, Speedy. Okay, which Speedy? There's so many Speedies
Oh,
out
yeah,
there.
I get it. Off recess.
Yep.
Oh, that one.
The one that
Oh,
you managed
I
to
get
fall into thinking was the same one for all those years.
Yeah.
Who's going to voice the hamster?
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Shiroy, would you like to do it?
Okay.
Depends on your way with animals. It's
Okay.
when you're friend, Luke. Yes, you're the first one you've had ever.
But Professor, you're one of my friends too.
Actually, no.
I think so too, Professor.
Actually, he did have a pet before this, but we haven't gotten to Spectre's Call yet, so let's hold off for that.
And it's a prequel.
Yeah.
Why do my footsteps
Oh,
sound
actually,
like
yeah.
my-
Here. Oh, I'm pretty sure I don't wait for this particular character to finish talking. So.
Oh, it seems like you're holding it for a bit. Maybe Shiroy
No,
could
I'm
try
not.
voicing
No, I'm
her.
not. See,
Thank you. I don't think we need any snacks right now.
I kind of forgot about this. Of course you.
don't.
Yeah, go ahead, Dubs. Use your Emma voice.
And I put on my best smile for nothing.
Oh, Dwibs, fair warning.
So this
you're
is
probably
Sal-
gonna have to
so
bring
Sally
back
here-
a similar voice than that for Justice for All.
Those passengers eat in the dining car. It's so ritzy. Can't say I blame them. With competition like that, it's hard to sell so much as a cup of tea. I'm so bored. I've got a while until my shift finishes, so help me pass a little time with this puzzle, would you?
Your shift?
Why do I even bother talking to people?
All right, piles of pancakes. So this is a classic puzzle.
House of Pancakes 1.
This is
I
actually
like
yeah.
how no matter, even though we're out of Curious Village, there's always someone who just happens to have a puzzle.
This
on
is
them.
this
It's
is
like puzzles
yeah.
might as well just be a national sport.
This is how this world works, though, Jover.
the
There's no
national
puzzles, there's
yeah,
no life.
pretty much. Like
Is there-
let's not forget how apparently having a lot of puzzles under your belt makes you a big hit with the ladies.
There should be a national. They should just make puzzle solving a national sport. Layton would be at the head of the team. Imagine if it became
you move-
international.
can you move the pile of
Layton would win
pancakes?
the Olympics in that.
So this is a classic puzzle, and even the game is going to explain where
The
it came
Puzzle
from.
Olympics.
Basically,
Wow.
I'm supposed to move. Basically, I'm supposed to move all the pancakes to the red plate, and I can't. Well, now it's a little too late to explain the rules, so the audience can just pause and read it.
too easy.
Delicious. This puzzle is actually a variant of the famous Tower of Hanoi, a puzzle invented by a French mathematician all the way back in 1883.
What was his name?
Trivia. They don't say the name, but... Well, Wikipedia, here we go.
Yes.
Whoa! Check out the brain on you, kiddo. So listen, our next stop in this dinky little 2-cow village called Dropstone, right?
Drops.
There's like nothing there. I wish we could stop somewhere more exciting for a change.
Your eyes say otherwise. Seriously, have
I
you been
guess
getting
that's-
any sleep?
But I guess that's working a job for you.
I mean,
Sometimes
is
you
she
just have to
high
deal with
or
crippling
like, what's wrong
boredom.
with her?
She's pretty much... She hates her job, pretty much.
You know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna jump off the train. Ah!
She could at least look a little enthusiastic. I mean, she's serving customers.
Let's
She
check
just
again.
she only has like a week before retirement, so she just can't bother to care anymore. So the French mathematician who invented the Tower of Hanoi puzzle is called Edouard Lucas.
Yeah,
Speaking
okay.
of French, the music in this game actually gives off a more, the stereotypical French vibe than British.
That's because
I know, because
that's
the accordion.
That's because it's Tomohito Nishihura, and that man fucking loves his accordion to death. So
I am convinced, now that I know who he is, I am convinced that Tomoya Ohanti brought him in for that one soundtrack of
This must be the
Sonic
residence
Lost
of
World.
Lord Voldemort. I'm sorry. You know who.
so yeah, we've played Curious Village, so we all know what that shack is, right?
Yep. And the man is a god when it comes to doing soundtracks and
Luke, you
compression.
haven't spoken in a while.
That's because I haven't really had much lines for some reason.
Yes, we've had to cut your budget.
What?
My, what a lovely deck.
Akira Hino, please! Oh, thank you. Wow, this is the best. This breeze feels great. Akira Hino, why the heck were you making me mute for a second there?
Indeed, and the scenery is simply breathtaking. Luke, keep in character.
Right. Yes, these graphics are amazing. I mean, the sky is so blue, and just look at those trees fly by. Now that's what I call a view.
All this talk of pristine scenery reminds me of a puzzle I once heard. Why don't you try it? Jesus Christ, this dialogue.
In character.
I'm mumbling, Luke.
Oh come on, Dwibs. The whole "it reminds me of a puzzle" thing is kind of a running joke. Come on.
No, it's just the dialogue as a whole in that part.
Not quite sure if I
This is
told you-
amazing! Look over
Not
there,
quite-
that looks great!
Not quite sure
Well,
if I
to be
told
fair,
short.
well, Luke is a kid, so I get.
You know, this reminds me of that time when Christopher Miller said at that convention, "Objection! This reminds me of a puzzle." The real magic of that is that it was said 3 years before the crossover was even announced.
When did the Layton games start?
They originally came out in 2007 in Japan, and then in 2008 in the West.
Right. Quite a lot of stuff from Japan in a way that a lot of people really like. There was Layton, there was Persona 4, I think.
Well,
I
of
think it
course.
helps that, like, a lot of these
Unless
sort of
you're
games
European.
Well, when it comes to Layton, when it comes to Layton, it's really easy for example, European gamers to get into because it's not I mean, let's compare, for example, Professor Layton to other Japanese franchises like
Also,
Bayonetta,
because on 5 doesn't take six months to get here, unlike Persona.
like
I think the idea is
Bayonetta.
that, like, well, lately,
Actually,
a lot of...
actually, Dwibs, level 5 games tend to take a lot to be localized. Like, for example, Ni no Kuni only came out in the West 2 years after. It got to a point when it comes to the Layton series. It actually got to a point where the West was 2 games behind Japan. But it pays off because the localizations are always pretty much flawless. So
Yeah, I will say that it does help that a lot of...
Really hard on these games.
And
Well,
action! That's
right.
exactly it. Well done.
Continuing what we were saying, I'd say that, you know, Professor Layton in games like that, Ace Attorney, and even Bayonetta, lately a lot of Japanese developers have actually been trying to incorporate a lot of international vibes. Like with Professor Layton, you have the whole British thing. With Ace Attorney, I actually did some research, and you know how Von Karma and Franziska are German in the localization? Well, apparently in the original Japanese version, the way that Edgeworth and Von Karma and Franziska dress, they're actually, Von Karma and Franziska are actually American.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically Shutakumi's take on how Americans dress. In Shutakumi's eyes, Americans dress extremely fancy and speak eloquently.
You know, funnily enough, after becoming an Ace Attorney fan, going to the expo, that's when I started seeing loads of Ace Attorney
We
cosplayers.
finally have a good grasp of this train's
It's like they just
layout.
started popping up.
It's high time
And
we began our investigation proper.
And apparently, the idea behind Ace Attorney was actually sort of to go with the whole Western vibes as well, especially with like how they had a lot of people dressing,
Yeah.
you know, what Japan considers casual.
The thing about like it's incredibly, like I was trying to say, like the
Look at that. Someone's left some rubbish on the deck here.
indeed, the main reason why we go ahead.
Look, some people have got no manners.
Yes.
Go on, Pedro.
Well,
Internet.
one of the I mean, it's incredibly easy for example, an European gamer to get into Professor Layton over something like let's say Persona or Bayonetta, because you know Bayonetta and Persona just scream Japanese, whereas this game
Bayonetta is actually more of an American vibe. Actually, I recall an
Wait,
interview
you're going
that
to be
actually
kidding me. We actually have to have a puzzle just to put something in the bin.
you know, this puzzle is unlike the princess puzzle that I mentioned in the second to last part of Curious Village. This puzzle is actually optional. I don't have to do this one. I can just quit if I want. But I'm going to solve it because, you know, gotta get that puzzle counter up because, you know.
Gotta go fast.
Don't worry. I'm not going to take longer.
it'll
much
come back
longer.
in the story.
Not to mention, unlike the long princess puzzle, I actually really like this one.
That princess puzzle. Though then again, as I stated, I didn't really have too much of a problem with that. What is it with me?
Any moments that you don't see me doing anything, it's just me thinking. But
yeah,
going back to what I was talking about, yeah. Well, okay, fine. Bayonetta is American, but the point I was trying to make is it's incredibly easy for a European gamer to get into this series. More, don't get me wrong. I fucking love Atlas, but it's incredibly easy for let's say a British gamer to get into Professor Layton, for example, because you know it's this game, this series in general doesn't scream Japanese at all. Like I mean, yeah, you have some like the giant robots and stuff like that. You can tell it's Japanese, but you know the way the characters are written, you know, there's no anime style humor.
I'm gonna be honest, I never really got too much of a Japanese vibe just because of the robots. If anything, and it gives off a steampunk vibe.
Well, yeah, the Layton series is a big the Level 5 is a big fan of Studio Ghibli films, so it's probably a throwback to something like Castle in the Sky or maybe,
steampunk generally never really gives me a Japanese vibe as much as it does an American, well, more older American, but American/European vibe.
So yeah,
because hey, I love Treasure Planet, and that game and that movie just screams.
Yeah,
steampunk.
Treasure. Yeah, which is actually a pretty great movie, by the way. Unlike what a lot of people would have you believe.
What even Disney would have you believe. Seriously, we
Some
have
people
not
think
yet
it's
gotten.
crap.
They only think it's crap because they think it's what killed off the Disney 2D animation era.
Even
No,
though
wasn't that Princess and the Frog?
No. The move. No, it's not. It's not a matter of that. Like, the problem is that 2D animation just doesn't make any money in America anymore. So.
I know, but
Stupid.
As Don Bluth found out to his cost in 2000.
yeah. But unfortunately, some people never seem to realize that, and because Treasure Planet was one of the last 2D films, people blame that on how it ended. When really, come on, Disney was just being stupid, I think.
Yeah,
You know
Yeah,
really
let's
depressing?
put our big film against Harry Potter.
And they did it again with Winnie and the Pooh.
Yeah. Let's put.
Don't you mean Winnie the Pooh? Not Winnie and the Pooh.
It's like they want their animated. It's not even just their animated films. It's even their CGI films. It's mostly the marketing department. It's like the marketing department of Disney hates the Disney Animation Studio. I mean, Big Hero 6, right next to Interstellar. The Tangled, right, Frozen actually, right next to the new Hunger Games movie.
Is Big Hero 6 a Pixar film or a Disney animated film?
Disney. Well, it's coming out here in late January, so.
Big Hero 6 is a Disney film. I mean, yeah, it has Marvel. It's based on a Marvel comic, but it's made.
But it's not Pixar.
Pixar has no involvement in it's Disney. It's not Pixar.
Sorry. Oh, sorry, it was just a bit hard to tell because,
there was
Disney has sort of been the new Pixar lately. That some of their films, look similar to Pixar's style.
Wreck-It Ralph is the best Pixar movie since Toy Story 3, and now Big Hero 6 seems like it's going to be the same kind of thing. And
I'm sure some of you guys know.
Yeah, we know.
Shall I say for the benefit of the audience that hasn't seen the other videos yet?
Or go ahead.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm not really a fan of Wreck-It Ralph.
All right.
Lee gasp.
Okay, so what I was saying, Big Hero 6 is made by Disney Animation. Pixar did not release a movie this year. They were supposed to release the big dinosaur, or the little dinosaur, I forgot what the name is, but all their movies got pushed back a year because John Lasseter's trying to bring back the quality. Let's just hope he's
bring back quality.
That's the guy who made Cars 2.
Yeah.
And is making Cars 3 and Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4, which is going to be a love story.
We don't need a Toy Story 4.
John Lasseter's becoming like the animation equivalent of George Lucas right about now.
Pretty much. Which saddens me
There's
because
nothing like travel by rail to put a spring in your step.
Hello, suspicious-looking man with a bowl cut.
And there's no better way to do it than on a train as fine as yours, Mr. Beluga.
So you know my name, do you?
Why wouldn't your name
But
tag?
of course, this train and its owner have quite a reputation in London.
Plus it says so on your
I've seen
hat.
your face in the papers more than a few times.
Oh, is that so now?
Also,
Yes.
I'm sorry, my friend, but I can't say I know you as well as you seem to know me.
Then how are we
The
even
name is
friends?
Herschel Lee. I'm a professor of archaeology by trade, but a train enthusiast on the side.
Ha,
I've
Herschel.
heard tales of this train's grandeur, so I decided it was time to experience it firsthand.
Luke won me the lottery. you
Well,
see.
isn't that something? It certainly
This
is
character
a
looks
pleasure
very
to meet
scary.
you, Mr. Layton, was it?
for now,
Oh
I'll
my,
just say that he does have a role in the
just
story,
how
but he's not at all.
I really
but
have
he's
to
not what he
run.
seems at
Do
first,
enjoy your
let's just
time
say.
aboard.
He reminds me
You're
of...
totally evil. You're evil.
No, don't worry. Fortune level 5 is not going to be that obvious. He looks like he could be evil, but I'll just say that there's more to him than just evil things.
It's more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
He actually
I
looks...
see.
He actually
Why
looks
don't we
like...
head back to the dining car now, Luke? I've worked
He
up quite
actu-
an appetite.
He actually looks a lot like the villain from the Lorax movie.
He does, doesn't he?
Which Lorax
Yeah.
movie?
The new one.
The newer one. Which I am actually okay with.
I thought that movie was just garbage.
Gosh,
honestly.
I'm about to just keel over from boredom. Sure, the job pays well, but it's so slow, it's painful.
Hey, at least your job is actually in a video game. My job has nothing of the sort.
Alright, I skipped that dialogue because it's just a repetition of, oh, there's no one here. Oh, okay, let's go then.
And we'll see more of that, hopefully not, in the next part.
See you
See ya.
then.
See ya.